If the problem is fine and nothing is wrong with the sentence, then you go ahead and choose A. That's something to remember, the formatting of the exam. And welcome back to the Angry Teacher channel. I'm Richard Williams, the Angry Teacher. If it's your first time here, thanks for coming by. Thanks for perusing the site. Thanks for subscribing, liking, and commenting below because it helps us grow. If you've been here before, you know I love you. Let's get into the video. Now, this time of year, it's, SAT, ACT everywhere. AP exams coming up, state exam, district exams, classroom exams. So, and even, beyond high school and whatever, we get into the college realm where everyone's taking exams as well. So, some of my kids were talking about, Mr. Jones, what do I do about the multiple choice exams, the objective exams? Well, this is like the first part of what I need to say because there's a whole other video I could make and I'm thinking about, but this is just to throw stuff out initially. Number one, start studying the first time you've been exposed to the content, especially if it's a difficult class. So, for example, some people recommend studying the first day of school or first day of class, but it becomes overwhelming if you start that early. It depends. It all depends on you, depends on the class. But with that said, if you're just being exposed to polynomials and you're not sure what that is, then the first, and you went throughout the lesson, you realize, wait a minute, I'm probably gonna have to focus a little bit more for this one because I'm not really getting it. Then you start studying as soon as that lesson's done. As soon as you have some time, you go over your material. If it's like we're doing Shakespeare tragedies and you get into the first one and you're like, whoa, what the heck is this? Then you start studying for it. So you need to know what's expected as well and know what you are capable of or what you don't get. So that's why you have to pay attention in class. You got to know if this is easy enough for me to kind of, hey, I don't really have to study right now, or man, I need to be studying while he's talking. And that's how hard this is. Create a study schedule. Number two, find the mode that you like as well. So if you know that index cards or study cards or note cards are your thing, then you start writing them up as soon as you re-listen to the lecture, or you're reading and selective highlighting is your thing. Go ahead and start doing that for while you remember, while you can. Because you don't want to wait until later and then you have to reread an entire thing and you don't remember what was said, you don't remember the cues he made, you don't remember the pauses your professor or your teachers had in the discussion or the lecture. So you want to go ahead and use whatever mode is best suited for you as soon as possible. And make sure you pay attention to the time of day. Do you study better in the early morning? Like right now it's, I don't know what time it is, but it's really early. I'm a morning person, I don't sleep very well like I've told you before, so I roll out of bed really early. So I do a lot of stuff in the early morning, the wee hours of the morning when nobody else is awake. With that said, some of you work better at night, or you work better with your friends, so you have to wait till they get up. So in the meantime, prep. Get your stuff together, highlight, write down the stuff so you can use some of the other tricks that are coming later in the video, all right? Number three, organize your chapters or the steps or the notes that you have. Use mnemonic devices. If making acronyms help you better study, or little tricks like, okay, every time I memorize one of these, I'm gonna clap, or every time I memorize one of these, I'm going to drink some water. And so when you get to the exam, you'll remember, wait a minute, I remember that is, and that's when I spat out the water because I couldn't have any more, or whatever it was. They make little tricks that help you remember a chapter, remember a part of the lesson. Know what's expected again, because you have to know you don't want to study everything that you don't need, even though you might need it theoretically. You want to focus on what you need for that exam. So that's why when you're taking SATs and AP exams and ACT, it's recommended that you kind of go to a website and see the types of questions first, because you don't want to study everything. Like there are a lot of things in grammar and mechanics that aren't on the exam. Do you need to know them? I believe so, but it's not necessary for that exam right now, so you can kind of delay that studying that area of it and focus on maybe the types of phrases versus subject verb agreement, or whatever it is that you need to pay attention to. You need to know what those are, so you need to know what's expected. So ask the professor, ask your teacher, or go online and see, okay, these things are normally covered in an AP exam, these things are normally covered in the SAT, so let me focus on those. Associate things with different chapters. For example, if you're doing introduction to botany, and they're talking about trees that are invasive to certain areas, then study with leaves on your desk, or go outside for that lesson, or take a picture and look at it. Each time you study, you kind of look at the picture and kind of look at what city that is, or what state it is, and what area of the world, and what they normally do, and how they use the trees. Something that helps you remember that particular chapter, that particular part of the chapter that you're studying, because it helps you when you see that question on the exam. It helps you, or that section on the exam, it helps you remember what you studied, and then what you studied, you'll be able to use it on the said exam. Number 4, set the timer. On and off. 45 minutes on, you study intensely, you read, you get your stuff together, and then you're off about 5-10 minutes. You take a break, you go walk, you look outside, you look inside, wherever you are. You figure out that, hey, I need some time away from this knowledge or this context, and then you come back, this content, and then you come back. And then you study 45 minutes more, and then you take another 10 or 15 minute break. So you're on and off. So that's why, studying, and going back to number 2, I believe, you have to set up your study schedule. You have to have your stuff organized. You have to have your space ready so that you can be successful for those 45 minutes. You don't want to spend 45 minutes trying to find your pen, or trying to find the paper, trying to find the chapter even. Or try to remember what the professor said, or trying to contact, are we supposed to study this and that, that's supposed to be done prior to. Organize yourself. Check out some of my other videos that help you organize yourself for studying and for being that A student that's in there. Also, for number 4, time yourself. Check your time. Yes, you have 45 minutes on, 5 to 10 minutes off, but also check to see, can you answer a question in about a minute? So time yourself. A lot of these entrance exams are timed, so you need to be able to read the passage in about 8 or less minutes, and then answer questions 1 minute at a time. So practice makes perfect. You keep practicing, you keep doing that, you'll be better at it, because your speed will get better. Your ability to know what's coming works better. Number 5, quiz yourself, or have somebody quiz you. If you do the note cards, that's easy to do. Have exchange with someone and have them ask you a question. And you give them the answer, or they do the Jeopardy type. They give you the answer and you ask the question. Use Quizlet and other apps or websites like that. Write down test questions. That's something, and I'm probably going to make a third video, about how to get kids to study in your class or for your class. But in any case, I usually at some point have my kids do that, but write test questions. So if you're studying for the ACT, practice looking at the types of questions. Practice getting familiar with how they're written, so you know exactly what's gonna come. The only difference is the changing in a few words based on the passage that you're reading, or the equation that you were given. But for the most part, you know where it's going to go and how it's going to end up. You know how the answers are going to look. So that's a trick that works very well. And the last thing, this is like a last minute thing that I added to it because I never expected to go with the 2 videos. So I'm just throwing this in there because the other one would be too long. And it's number 6. Remember the multiple choice rules. ACT, SAT, and some other exams, if the answer is if nothing is wrong with the problem that they claim is there. If the problem is fine and nothing is wrong with the sentence, then you go ahead and choose A. That's something to remember, the formatting of the exam. So if they always have an E, if those are choice 1 only, choices 1 and 2 only, Those kinds of questions. How many of them are there? Do I have to respond to those? Those are the longer ones. They take longer. Do I need to use time to respond to them? How many minutes do I have? So you need to know the multiple choice rules for the test that you're taking. So once again, that's why you go online, you check these things out. You ask the professor, will it be open book? Will it be, do I have to bubble in? Do I have to like the AP exam now, if one passage is too long, it might span 2 pages, but the questions will be different. So kids, when they turn a page, they might think, oh my God, it's a new passage, but it's the same one. They just want it to be convenient for you to be able to look on the page, on the screen, or on the page at the same time. So the questions will change, but the passage remains the same. So these are the rules you need to know about the multiple choice exam that the type of multiple choice exam that you're taking. So I'll make another video about how to address those, specifically number 6 here. But those are things that you can kind of use to kind of help you master taking a multiple choice exam, because you need to know how to survive. It's not necessarily the content that they're looking for unless it's an actual, in class kind of thing. But a lot of these entrance exams or these gatekeeping exams, like the AP exams, the ACT, SAT, they're basically how do you take exams? Do you know enough in your head to take an exam on an exam? If I stopped you in the middle of the street, would I be able to talk to you about the thematic purpose of, or the diction used in a song? That's what the test is about. It's not necessarily about the specific work. It's about your ability to break stuff down at the flip of a switch, okay? That's all the time I have for you today. I need you to go out there and be great. Hey, go out there and be really great. Thought I was gonna say something else, huh?